Heerlen. Limburgish, Heële, is a city and a municipality in the European country Netherlands. There it's situated in the southeast of the southernmost province of Limburg, of which it is the second largest municipality. Heerlen forms part of Parkstad Limburg, an agglomeration with about 220,000 inhabitants. After its early Roman beginnings and a rather modest medieval period, Heerlen became a centre for the coal mining industry in the Netherlands in the late 19th century. In the 20th century, architect Frits Peets played a major role in shaping the city as we know it today. His most famous design, and a distinctive building in the city centre, is the so-called Glaspaleis, listed as one of the world's 1,000 most architecturally important buildings of the 20th century. History: in 1997, a habitation from the Michelsberg culture was excavated at the Schelsberg, near Heerlen. Archaeological finds from this period are rare in the Netherlands. The site is unique in the Netherlands, as it is the first excavated site with ditches and earth walls. Even with these proofs of early habitation, the history of Heerlen properly starts with the arrival of the Romans. They founded a military settlement, named Corriovelum, on the crossroad of two main roads, Boulogne-sur-Mer, Cologne, and Xanden, Aachen, Trier. In Heerlen and its surroundings a lot of evidence of Roman life has been excavated, especially Roman villas. The most notable archaeological excavation from Roman times is the Thermae complex in the centre of Heerlen, a Roman bathhouse, discovered in 1940. In the Netherlands only a few of these have been found. It is a clear indication that Corriovelum Heerlen was of some importance. A museum has been built over the Thermae and opened in 1977. The Thermen Museum also houses other Roman finds from the area. Like many other Roman settlements in the Netherlands, Corriovelum was probably abandoned after the 3rd/4th century Roman retreat. Very little is known about Heerlen's history until the 10th century, when agricultural development continues once again in these parts of Europe. Farmhouses and mills are built across the valleys of Kormerbeek, Schandelebeek and Schleenbeek, and medieval Heerlen slowly takes shape. The oldest mention of Heerlen is in an official document dated 1065. Udo, Bishop of Toul, documents some gifts. One of them is the Allodium Heerlen, in the Bishopric of Liege. Another allodium consists of a few chapels, which belong to the Mother Church in Voerendal, close to Heerlen. Shortly after this the allodium of Heerlen appears to be owned by the Counts of Hoogsteden. Theodoric van separated Heerlen from Voerendal and chose Saint Pancratius as the patron saint of the church. The Counts of were probably responsible for the construction of the Schalmentoren and the Street Pancratius Church, and also may have ordered the construction of a moated castle. Through these fortifications Heerlen acquired some rights and freedoms, which gave it an elevated status over the surrounding countryside. Voerendal, Owensbroek, Schaersberg en Nijmegen now fell under the legislation of the so-called Land van Heerlen. In 1244 Heerlen came under the authority of the Dukes of Brabant, but in 1388, along with Owensbroek, it was given a separate status. During the 80 Years' War, Heerlen was disputed by the Kingdom of Spain and the Dutch Protestant rebels and swapped sides several times. At the 1661 Partage Treaty, Heerlen became part of Stad Limburg, ruled by the States General of the newly founded Dutch Republic. Being in the border region, close to the Spanish territories, it remained quite isolated until 1793, when the French conquered Heerlen. After the defeat of Napoleon in 1814 it became part of the Netherlands province of Limburg. In 1830, like most of Limburg, Heerlen sided with Belgium in the Belgian Revolution. In 1839 however, as a result of an agreement between the main European powers, it became part of the Netherlands again. In the 19th century, Heerlen, like most of Limburg municipalities, did not partake in the Industrial Revolution, and it remained largely agrarian until coal mining began in the late 19th/early 20th century. In March 1874, coal had been found at the Valkenburger Weg. However, setting up a mine is a risky long-term investment, and only very few private enterprises took up the challenge and bought a concession. In 1896 Heerlen got its first railway connection to allow the transportation of coal from these first coal mines. Development was still rather slow, In 1812 Heerlen had a population of 3497, in 1900 this was still only 6646. In 1901, the national government stepped in and bought all remaining and sold concessions and set up the state mines. In a short period of time several large state-operated coal mines began production. The population rose sharply from 6646 in 1900 to 12,098 in 1910 to 32,263 in 1930. During these early expansion years many old buildings in the center of Heerlen were demolished. The coal mines remained central to the development of Heerlen into a modern city until the early 1960s, the period during which Mayor van Grunsven was mayor of Heerlen. The golden years of coal mining ended in the late 1950s, after which production gradually diminished due to competition from cheaper Polish and American coal and the discovery of natural gas in the province of Groningen. In the period 1965–1975 the coal mines were closed altogether. In the area around Heerlen, Kerkrade, Brunsum and Sittard 60,000 people lost their jobs. A difficult period of economic readjustment started. The Dutch government tried to ease the pain by moving several governmental offices to Heerlen, but even today the city has not fully recovered from the loss of tens of thousands of jobs. In the city shape of modern-day Heerlen very little reminds us of the once omnipresent mining industry. Most of the typical mounts of mining debris that surrounded the coal mines have been removed or transformed into luscious green hills during an operation called Van Zwart naar Graan. Even the tallest mine chimney of Europe, Langlijs and her older brother Langjan, once major landmarks, were demolished. One of the few remaining mining buildings now houses the Dutch Mine Museum. Geography. Heerlen is located at 50°53 euro squared and 5°59 euro squared in the province of Limburg in the southeast of the Netherlands on the border with Germany. It is situated in the COROP region of South Limburg and is part of the agglomeration Parkstad Limburg, formerly known as Oostelijk Midstreek. Heerlen is bordered by the Dutch municipalities of Simpelveld, Voerendal and Nuth, Schinnen, Brunsum, Landgraaf and Kerkrade, and the German municipality of Aachen. Education. Among the educational institutes in Heerlen is Hogeschool Zuid, which is a university of applied sciences with branches in Heerlen, Sittard and Maastricht. Also based in Heerlen is the administrative office of the Open University of the Netherlands, which is a university for distance learning with tens of thousands of students throughout the Netherlands. Heerlen was also the location of the now defunct University of Theology and Pastorate, which had to close down due to lack of students. Jokingly it was said that Heerlen was the location of the biggest and the smallest university of the Netherlands. Healthcare. Healthcare in Heerlen is provided by Stichting Gezondheidszorg Zuid Limburg. Atrium Medisch Centrum Parkstad, is the name of the different hospitals in the Parkstad, and is part of GOZL Atrium Medisch Centrum Parkstad location. Heerlen was previously known as De Weverskindhuis, named after Frans de Wever, who in 1904, together with M.G. Joseph Savelberg, founded the first hospital in Heerlen. Architecture. The city's best-known architect is without doubt Frits Peutz. His legacy consists of at least 10 landmark buildings in Heerlen. In 1935 Heerlen's most famous landmark building, the Glaspaleis, was built next to the medieval church in the center of the then modest town. It was commissioned by the merchant Peter Schoonk, and it was quite an extraordinary step for this conservative businessman to ask the young Heerlen-based architect Peutz to design the new Schoonk department store. It is one of the most outstanding examples of early modernism in the Netherlands, but it was only recognized as such at a fairly late stage. In the 1990s it was added to a prestigious list of the world's 1,000 most important buildings of the 20th century created by the International Union of Architects. It encouraged the city administrators to buy the dilapidated building and make plans for its renovation. The renovation has now been completed and it now houses several of the city's cultural institutions, including a museum of modern art. The renovated Glaspaleis has become a symbol of the revived Heerlen after the closing of the coal mines. Although many interesting buildings were demolished around 1900, some older buildings still exist in the center of Heerlen, for instance a Romanesque-style 12th-century church, and a former prison tower from around the same period. Other buildings worth mentioning are a neoclassical chapel, and a former mansion annex pharmacy, left in almost the same state as after its 1801–1828 expansion. In other parts of Heerlen, especially near the numerous small rivers around Heerlen, many more older buildings can be found, noticeably a couple of watermills, Eekende-molen, Oliemolen, and Schandele-molen, some castles and old farms, Benzeradorhof, Overstuvenrade and Oev de Beek. Architects with significant work. Here follows a list of architects who have built important landmarks in Heerlen, and those landmarks: Van Beers, Huis op de Berg, Johan Keizer, Chapel Savelberg Convent, Jan Stuit, and Botschool Japo, former library, Dirk Rosenberg, former office Oranje Nassau Mine, Dirk Brouwer, former HEMA building, Fritz Pitts, Glaspaleis, Monsignor Retreat House, Town Hall, Municipal Theatre, Gerrit Rietveld, House on Zandweg, Joe Keenan, Library and Entrance Stadsgarage. People from Heerlen. See also People from Heerlen, a chronological list of notable Heerlenaren. Mines. List of mines which were located in what is now Heerlen, Oranje Nassau 1, 1899 euro 1974, now used in the Meernewater project, Oranje Nassau 3, 1917 euro 1973, now used in the Meernewater project, Oranje Nassau 4, 1927 euro 1966, Saartsmegema, 1911 euro 1973. Transport. Heerlen has 3 railway stations, Heerlen, Heerlen de Kissel, Heerlen Woon Boulevard. From Heerlen you can travel to Eindhoven, Utrecht, Amsterdam, Maastricht, Kerkrade and into Germany. Economy. Heerlen houses the biggest furniture strip of Europe, with 120,000 square floor space after the opening of the biggest IKEA of the Benelux on 27 August 2008. On October 1, 2008, the World Euro unregistered trademark's first Meernewater power station was opened in Heerlen. It will be used to heat and cool 200 homes, along with shops, a supermarket, a library and large office buildings. Sports. The GP Heerlen is a February cyclo-cross race held in Heerlen. References. External links. Official website, Fermi Museum, Corrievolum.